Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day. In this video I'm going to be covering Nightcrawler, who happens to be the members pick of the month. He made his first appearance in Giant Size X-Men, issue number 1, that was released in May 1975. His real name is Kurt Wagner, which he legally changed from Kurt Szardos. And he was originally a German mutant man that stands 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs 195 pounds, although he's also been listed at 161 pounds, having all yellow eyes with no irises and blue hair, which extends to him being coated all over in a fine blue fur as well. Additionally, Nightcrawler's very distinctive look is also due to him only having 3 very large fingers on each hand, as well as 2 large toes on each foot, which are complemented by his fang-like canine teeth, as well as a 3.5 foot long prehensile tail, which he uses as a powerful extra appendage that can even support his own body weight. Now, despite only having the physical strength and speed of a very athletic human man, Nightcrawler has vast superhuman agility and reflexes, as well as being a master hand-to-hand combatant, which is further complemented by his extremely flexible bone structure, micro discs on his hands and feet that allow him to stick to objects, a greatly increased night vision, as well as his extra-dimensional powers giving him a limited degree of camouflage, which tends to shadow his appearance even in direct light. And to elaborate on these extra-dimensional powers, we come to his main superhuman ability, which is him being one of the most adept teleporters in the Marvel Universe. To use this ability, he hops through what's known as the Brimstone Dimension, with traces of this realm's smoke-like atmosphere and stench being left behind with the signature BAMF sound. Nightcrawler can typically only teleport himself and a small amount of mass with him, keeping his exact inertia or speed with him whenever he arrives at his destination. And although this teleportation through the Brimstone Dimension can slightly weaken him and moderately weaken anyone with him, the fatigue that he himself suffers greatly increases with the more mass he carries and the longer distance he covers. Although in his latest iterations, he's been shown to be strong enough to teleport up to 8,000 miles, which he couldn't come close to before. He also typically needs a general idea of where he's teleporting to, so that he won't materialize within a solid object or some other place he shouldn't be. But this hazard is somewhat mitigated by him having a limited spatial awareness that generally allows him to know where certain landmarks are and where the ground is. And to round all of these unique abilities out, Nightcrawler gave up his soul at one point, and that basically makes him immortal, being able to be resurrected from nearly anything if given the proper amount of time. The only glaring weaknesses that Nightcrawler has is his susceptibility to Neyaphem blood, aka Angel's blood, which typically heals people yet is harmful to his race, which are known as Neyaphem. At one point, he also had a crippling fear of being out in public without an image inducer, which was a piece of Shi'ar technology that could make him look like a normal person. And once you know his history, you really can't blame the guy for feeling that way. You see, long ago, Kurt was born the son of Azazel, who is a mutant that looks like a demon, and the popular shape-shifting mutant known as Mystique. His mother had taken on the guise of a German noblewoman, then ending up marrying a German baron named Christian Wagner. But after Baron Wagner introduced her to the charming Azazel, she would have an affair that would lead to the birth of Nightcrawler. The young Kurt was born looking exactly like he looks now, clearly a mutant. And due to Mystique losing her concentration during the birth process, both her and her newborn were quickly ran off by an angry torch-wielding mob. And lucky for Kurt, she would escape just in time to float him down a river to freedom. With this baby's luck continuing, he would survive and be raised by Margali Szardos, who was a sorceress and fortune teller with Getmann's traveling menagerie. From that point on, Kurt would be raised with this Bavarian circus, with Margali and the rest of the acts being like his family. He would also become best friends with Margali's son named Stephan, as well as her daughter named Jimaine, who he would eventually fall in love with. And as he grew, his agility and acrobatic skills would make him a star trapeze performer, and this is even before he developed his teleportation abilities. He was widely accepted because many of the audience members just thought that his look was due to a costume. But he would soon learn that it's a cold world, with him almost meeting his end the first time he had to flee the circus due to differences with Getmann. Albeit, he would gain his strong religious faith, develop his teleportation abilities, and be saved by Professor X during this first ordeal. However, even after he returned to the circus when it was bought by a Texas millionaire, he would end up quitting again due to the harsh treatment and decided to leave America, returning home to his friends. However, he would find that his old friend Stephan had gone mad, becoming a serial killer, which led to a confrontation between the two. Unfortunately, Kurt would accidentally take out his friend, and once again, a mob of people would think that he was a demon responsible for killing Stephan and the serial killings. But once again, Professor X stepped in, immobilizing the crowd with his psionic powers, and finally recruiting Kurt into his second X-Men team. From that point on, he would be known as Nightcrawler, and would be indispensable as a superhero with the X-Men, becoming great friends with Colossus and considering Wolverine his best friend. Nightcrawler would eventually reunite with Jimaine, who now called herself Amanda Sefton, and would also reconcile with Margali, who had initially blamed him for Stephan's death. Nightcrawler would go on to be a founding member and leader of the Excalibur team, but after many exploits with them, he would return to the X-Men after they disbanded. He'd also go on to get the chance to meet his half-brothers, Abyss and Kiwi Black, allying with his brethren to take down their powerful father, Azazel, which he would end up fighting again on multiple occasions. Nightcrawler would go on to have many different adventures with the X-Men over the years, even seeming to give up his life to save the important Hope Summers from Bastion. Yet, as I stated earlier, he would return, as he would on other occasions as well, becoming a teacher at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning and rejoining the X-Men whenever a villain arises. Now, due to his powers and abilities and his influence on the Marvel Universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Nightcrawler a rating of 7, which is a master rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join the new Sage.